Hey, what is going on, everybody? So the Packers have signed another player, another guy who until they signed them, I had no idea who this guy was, but his name is very hard to say. We have signed cornerback Rojesterman. I think that's how you say it. Don't quote me on that, but Rojesterman Farris. I think that's how you say it, Rojesterman Farris. I've never heard of someone named Rojesterman. Very interesting name, but it came out from the Packers a couple hours ago. Packers signed cornerback Rojesterman Farris and released a QB Jake Dolegala. So now the Packers are back to 3 quarterbacks. With tomorrow's preseason game coming up, maybe that means Jordan Love will be ready, because if we're getting rid of Dolegala, that means you just have a Kurt Benkert. So I'm guessing Love will be ready to go. So that will be interesting to see tomorrow in the preseason game. But that means that the Packers now have another cornerback on this roster. Now with it being August 27th and the 53-man roster deadline, or when the Packers have to basically finalize their 53-man roster being the 31st, that means there are only 4 days until that 53-man roster is finalized. So adding this new cornerback obviously adds another cornerback to the room, which will make it harder for one of them to get there. Will he make it? I'm not sure at all. But a little bit of a background on this guy. I put it out on my Twitter. If you're not following my Twitter, it is Luke_Beller. I'm going to start putting out more Packers stuff on there. So if you're not following yet, make sure you guys go follow right after you watch this video. So as you see right here, a little bit of info on this dude. The Packers have signed, we already said his name multiple times. So he's undrafted in 2020 out of Hawaii. He signed with the Falcons April 2020, but was released during training camp. He spent time on the Bears and the Broncos roster in 2021. Sorry that you just spent time with the Bears. Also, I said he has a name I've never heard before. So that's a little bit of his background. And then I found a scouting report from Pro Football Network, I believe. The scouting report was back from 2020. They had this to say about him having some positives and negatives. They say positives: nice-sized cornerback with solid instincts, quick to read and diagnose, fires up the field, and gives effort against the run. Fluidly flips his hips in transition, mixes it up with receivers, and effectively at times his pass defenses. Plays to his size. Negatives: face guards too often, slow to get his head back around and locate the pass in the air, lacks a great burst to the ball out of his plant. So there's not really too much we've seen from this guy since he left college. He hasn't played an NFL snap. I was looking up his stats and I couldn't find anything. So it looks like he hasn't played an NFL snap since he did enter the league about 1 year ago. Packer, sit somewhere. Right there? All right, bet. So will he be able to come in here and make the Packers 53-man roster? I honestly have no clue. I would doubt that a guy who gets signed 4 days before they're finalizing the 53-man roster would be able to make it, but maybe Gutekunst was watching, he saw something from him, and maybe he's a guy that could make it. It would be hard to believe that he comes in here and does that, but, it could happen, I guess. Because right now, if we take a look at the Packers' cornerbacks at this moment, Jair, Chandon Sullivan, Kevin King, Eric Stokes, Shamar Jean-Charles, I think those guys are all locks, which that is, 5 guys there. And then we have Kabian Ento, who I think could possibly, make the roster this year because he's looked pretty solid so far this training camp. And then, of course, Isaac Yiadom, the guy who we traded Josh Jackson for. So there's a couple other guys, at the bottom of the cornerback group who are fighting for that final roster spot, as it is with lots of other of the positions as well. So that is the information on our newest cornerback. Tough to say his name, but, good to have him here, I guess. And so now we have 1 day till the final preseason game, Packers-Bills, tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It seems like I'm guessing Jordan Love will be ready to go if Dolegala is no longer on this Packers roster. It would be odd if Jordan Love didn't play and Kurt Benkert was the only guy out there. I guess it's possible, but I assume Jordan Love will be ready to go, which I'm excited to see him play once again because it was fun to watch him that first preseason game, and I want to see what else he has to offer for the Packers. So now from today, Friday, we have 4 days until the Packers' 53-man roster is finalized. It's going to be interesting to see who finishes off this Packers roster and what sort of what our roster is going into the 2021 season. And then I think, it's September 12th, right? I think the first game versus the Saints. So that should be interesting. Also, I saw today that Jameis Winston is going to be the quarterback for the Saints in week 1. So will he be able to not throw interceptions like he really struggled with in, the Buccaneers before he had that year with Drew Brees? Maybe Jameis' year with Drew Brees, he learned, don't throw the ball to the other team. Maybe not. So that should be interesting. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel down below. And if you haven't followed my Twitter, it is Luke_Beller. Go follow it right now if you haven't already. But thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys on the next video.